Welcome to the meeting of the Ware Board of Selectmen for March 23rd. We started at 6:30 with a non-public under B for hiring. We had a short A and C with the chief to talk about staffing, and that brings us to the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So as you can see, we are trying to keep a little bit of a distance under this COVID-19 thing. Selectman Osborne's out kind of in the audience. He's 6 feet away. Selectman Burdick is off to the side of Naomi. There's a little bit of space between myself and John Van. We have eliminated public comment until further notice for the fact of to try and keep the contact to a minimum.
Public safety.
If there is something that the public wants to bring up, just contact Naomi via phone, and we can get put on the schedule. But until further notice, like I said, everything's changing, everything is fluid right now, and we're trying our best to react, like I said, with conditions as they occur. So we'll move to department head committee items and recognize the police chief, Chief Moore.
So, first I'm going to go over with, based on Selectman Van's question last week on the estimate for Vehicle 9. The estimate total was $1,774.01. It involved fixing the rotor, headlamp, water pump, belt, fender, disc rotors, and headlamp.
Can I see that one more time, Chief?
Sure.
So car 9 is our Crown Victoria, which is probably I think is the oldest in the fleet.
Correct. And per the repairman, that's just to get it up to the standards where it could be used for an ACO car.
Yeah.
It's no longer usable for police use.
Okay.
So it's only $1,000 in labor, $766 in parts. All of these, with the exception of the fender, are just maintenance items. Power steering fluid needs to be flushed. Brakes.
Water pump.
Yep. Water
Belt.
pump. Headlight. Headlight.
I think they buffed them before already.
Now one doesn't adjust according to this.
Okay.
But for the most part, the majority of this is all maintenance related stuff.
Yeah.
My feeling is the voters did not go with the Tahoes this
Yep.
year. Admittedly, we're low on vehicles, and before I make a recommendation on this. Do we know how much we've spent in reimbursing the ACO for using her POV?
I don't. I track the number of miles
Okay.
on a spreadsheet, but Beth would have the actual cost.
Approximate miles?
She does anywhere from 20, I've seen up to 70 miles a week.
And the IRS is what, 55 cents a mile right now?
It's about 58.
58.
So,
Yeah, use the big number.
And on the back of that,
yep.
I've also wrote the actual
Conversion.
mileage on the car, the idle mile or the idle hours, the idle miles
Yep.
according to the book converts to 33 miles on the car. The actual total mileage with the idle miles is 256,696 miles.
Okay.
And what's it gonna cost to do the fender repair?
According to this, the labor is $380 and a used fender was $225, assuming it's
Painted the correct color.
Close to the same color.
Yeah, it was black. They found one that was black.
So
So no paint.
We're talking $600 for a fender. The fender's needed for state inspection.
Yes.
Is that the impression?
Correct.
Okay. So on average, we're reimbursing the ACO about $40 per week in mileage.
And how many
Couple
weeks has
thousand
she
a
been
year.
here?
So
well,
Since
couple
I started about
thousand a year.
June.
Yeah, so,
I just did the inspection runs out in September.
Yep.
And who knows if it'll pass in September. And the quick math of 70 miles, it's $40 a week, like
Yep.
you said. it's like,
$160 a month.
it's about $1,000 to get us to September.
Be another
Use-
1,000 for the next 6 months.
Using her vehicle.
Yeah.
It's 17 putting that vehicle.
Personally, I'd like to see the Crown Vic fixed and then converted into ACO. That's just my opinion.
Anybody else want to see it? Anybody else see it?
Because the other option is that thing goes to state auction, we'll get a couple $100 for it.
Yeah, probably $500-600 maybe.
When it does, mechanically, it's still sound, other than the
That we know
maintenance
of.
items.
That we know of.
Yep.
Well, based off of what you said, Mark Phillips said that to get it up to ACO standards, that's what needs to be done, right?
Correct.
And
I
you
would-
still have to do something different with, you have to.
We couldn't use it as a
can't
police
use it.
vehicle.
So, lights have to come out of it.
But you still did, there's nothing on it, right? So you still put some detail on it and.
Correct. So it's unmarked. There would have to be a town seal on it. We'd have to take equipment out of it.
The radio's fine.
Yeah, the radio can
Yeah.
stay in it, but the
Yep.
rest of it.
Yeah, the radio is the
Any lights would have-
very old one. That's two obsolete versions ago, but it still works.
But we still have the old ACO lights floating around somewhere in storage.
Yes.
I think my opinion is that should be repaired and put back into use as ACO vehicle.
Before
We
we,
get a year and a half, 2 years out of it.
before we
You
run,
get that much
before we go
kind
that
of specs, but
far,
you'll Find out.
because things have changed over there, can you see how much it's gonna be to put the seal on it, take the lights out, and put the light bar on it, the amber light bar? Can you just get a quick quote for that?
Yep.
And then we'll reevaluate, because I think that's probably gonna be $300-400 on its own just to do that. So that'll be in that $2,000 mark area.
How are we handling loose pets in light of all this?
We're not right now.
Okay, so. you might
Shut it
have
down.
to
Yeah, there's no point in us making contact with
Just thinking,
people
you know what I mean?
to expand the virus. Yep.
So the dog's
So
out.
if there's a loose dog, what are we doing? Nothing?
Nothing.
She doesn't have a crate that she can put in the back of a
You
vehicle?
still have-
She does, but you're gonna have to, we don't want anybody coming
And on
into
top of that-
unnecessary contact with, to spread this virus.
And on top of that, animals can carry the virus, not to the point when you start patting them or getting
Right.
in contact with them, you can pick it up.
So if she's not doing that, what is she doing?
Why, what
She's
is,
not getting paid. She's just on call. So we're not calling.
Right, that's one of the changes with the COVID coverage.
Okay, well, that's news to me.
So there's
I
no
didn't
big
know
rush
that.
to get that.
so
following.
who's picking the animal up? If there's an animal?
We're
on
not
the
picking
pro-
animals
We're
up.
not picking animals.
So if somebody's got a loose animal, then, and the police see it, they're gonna call
We'll
the
put it
owner?
on Facebook
Say,
if
we
the owner
got a-
wants to go get it, but
We got a
our
dog-
recommendation is
dog
you don't
down
touch strange dogs
114.
right now because they can carry the virus.
So this is only a temporary measure.
Correct.
Okay.
Once the epidemic.
Just want to make that clear for everybody.
Right,
Sure.
yeah. So at this time, probably table it and let it sit. I mean, I hate to.
I'd like to at least get the numbers.
Oh, yeah, I can work on
Get the
those.
numbers and maybe we can just acquire the fender and secure it. I mean, for
My
200,
issue is, if you spend the money now, September comes along, oh, geez, it's not gonna pass. It
Well, we
needs
need
another
this and that,
$600.
and, yeah,
We're putting good money after that.
yeah, maybe just wait and have it done.
which we did 4 years ago with all the cruises we had. We put good money at bad too.
Right.
We've done it with the highway department.
Because, and we've done it with the highway department for many years. And the reason we've done it is because it's what we were dealt. You know, it's what the taxpayers wanted. So unfortunately,
That quote was how much?
1770.
17.
But
Okay,
the
so
back,
if
the
we
back
wait-
end of that,
If we wait 8 months, that's $1,300 worth of mileage reimbursements.
If she's rolling, but she's not
If-
rolling.
Right now,
rolling.
in 2 weeks, she may. We
She
don't
may,
know.
you never know.
but,
Yeah, I don't think so.
yeah, I mean,
Again, I'm
very
going based off-
optimistic.
I think
But
the-
then,
I would highly doubt it in
but
the
then you
next
got,
3
you know,
months.
$300-400 to get it designated hers, I'll say, the seal, the light bar, the removal of the other lights.
I think there's not a big rush on it, so I think
that's
the
one
thing to
thing,
do is get it. I wouldn't even bother getting the parts at this point in time. Let's wait a couple weeks, because it's not,
just wondering about
it's
that
nothing
fender.
that has to rush. You know, I mean, we did it with the cruisers, but those were frontline vehicles we had to put back on the road. This
Yeah.
is not necessary to go out on the road. at
Not
this time.
today,
Agreed.
not today.
No, and she's getting reimbursement, then okay, we'll do that, and then we'll look at this. If it comes back in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it is, then we'll look at it again.
Mm-hmm.
The parts aren't going away.
Well,
There's enough
the
Crown
fender
Vic,
might.
there's enough Crown Vics out in the. out in
I'd
the
like to
fleet.
hope so, yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to hope so.
There's enough of them floating around Bow Auto Salvage, even if we had to buy a can of paint and spray the fender,
An
it's not a
aftermarket
big
fender
deal.
or something.
Yeah. Okay.
But if we could get an estimate on what it would cost to take the lights out and put the new ones in.
New one.
Well,
It's just
the
a-
existing ACO lights, excuse me.
Yeah, new secondhand.
Isn't it like,
Oh, no. I don't like
No,
the,
this is easy.
I don't like the eyebrow raising.
So my next question, which I've been asking staff for a while, why don't we charge for reports? According to RSA, we can charge for reports.
You always used to.
You were.
Yeah, I didn't understand why we were.
Why
I'm
don't-
looking for.
Why don't you?
Well, that's what I'm researching. Does the
You
board
were
have a
charging.
problem with me establishing a procedure to charge for reports? Okay.
Absolutely not.
Second, for that money, when we get fines, ACO charges, and if we start charging for reports,
Thank you.
yeah, why doesn't that go in like a vehicle replenishment fund since we're not getting vehicles?
I think it's,
Statutorily, some of it,
Can't, I get that, but if it can, we should put it in, just like the fire department, put it in for a vehicle replacement
I think
fund
the
to
only
lower the
one-
burden on
Need a fund
taxpayers.
for-
You'd have to create a special revenue fund for that.
the only.
Okay, well, I'm just kind of
And
throwing it out there.
That's next year.
The only one that's designated to go to the police department,
It's just the detail.
no.
Animal
is-
or fishing game.
Now, that goes to fishing game. The only ones that go to you are pistol permit money by statute.
Okay.
For the police department, but we did something before you got here a while ago that the pistol permit money goes to the town. But technically, the way the law reads, it can go to the police department.
So we'll worry about that next year, special. But I'll get
But if
the
you get pistol,
procedures.
but there's not many, I don't know how many pistol permits you've issued out this year. You'd have to go look.
We keep track, quite a few.
But there's,
Zombie apocalypse is
I
coming.
thought you didn't have to have a permit.
You don't have to.
You
but
don't have to, but they get them all the
People
time.
are still getting them. I still get mine.
guilty.
Naomi's got one. She's putting that out there.
Whoa,
She's packing.
hey!
I got one, my wife's got one.
Mine expired.
Good job.
Well,
I know.
So, okay. Yeah, I mean, especially like copies, I don't see why we're not. But,
Okay.
but as of right now, it comes back to us, to the general fund.
No, that's fine.
To the
We'll
black-
change that next year.
to the
But I'll get
black-
the procedures in place this year.
To the black hole. Yeah. Okay.
Yep, you can do that.
Man, that doesn't need to come before us. That's just,
Yes,
Yes,
that's
it
gonna go
does.
for the voters. That
That's
special
going to
revenue
the
fund's gotta go
voters.
for the
no,
voters.
him charging
No.
fees.
Oh, no, not for the, no,
Yeah.
but
You
no.
don't want
but-
to see the procedure when I roll it out?
Under his right,
Love to.
well, you've got a procedure. I mean, they have to fill out a right to know request.
Right.
You- and
No, I mean, as far as fees, where it's got to go.
Love to.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get it together and run it by you. That's it. That's all I got.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Don't get sick.
Yeah.
Try not to.
Thanks, chief. Optimistic words.
well, before he leaves, I can get on point.
We can,
Gonna what?
we can.
Yes.
Yeah,
What are we gonna do?
you man.
Oh, hey Barry.
Ah!
Yes, boss.
I thought he walked home.
I like the proper decorum.
So, yeah, the viewing audience couldn't see, but we have, effective March 30th, we're going to instate our part-time officer, Mr. Barry Charest, to full-time with a probationary period of 6 months at the rate of, I think it's $29.12 an hour, right? And that is formed as a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So, there you go.
Thank you very much.
Welcome
Well,
aboard.
thank you.
Again.
Again,
Welcome back.
yes. Okay, under department head committee items, we have some reappointments to
Yeah.
various boards.
Yeah, and typically what those are, we've always, I think there was some, there used to be, we used to bring people in,
Mhm.
which, if they've been on it and wanna be reappointed, I think we had the question one time is why?
Yep.
You know, they've served, they're willing to serve, you've already introduced them, you always used to
Mhm.
bring them up, and for 2 seconds, you'd say why, and they wanna give back, or
Yep.
something like that.
Yep.
So I think last year was the first time that we adopted the idea that if you were a reappointment, and we've
Mhm.
only interviewed you once, then it's more or less a motion.
Mhm.
A new person to a committee, you would still conduct an interview because they still have to go to the appropriate board, sit through a meeting, get a signature from the chair of that board, and then comes to us, we schedule, and then.
Mhm.
But in light of the whole thing,
Yep.
we're just.
Yeah, and that, again, and that's just definitely this year where it's, you know, we're trying to keep distances. The only thing I would say maybe, for future is, these are 2-year, correct? The appointments
They're all
are,
3.
they're 3?
Yep.
Maybe on the second reappointment, we see him again. That'd be 6 years, I mean, you know, I mean.
Some of these might be a third time around.
Right, and I understand that, but, you know,
Okay.
if the first time is, yeah, but, you know, second time, oh yeah, that's the face of the name. I mean, I just thinking that maybe we
So
should see him.
reappointments on the second time around, you wanna see him?
Yeah, I think that would be all right.
Doesn't make a
Well, the
difference.
first time you've seen them.
Right, so we see him the first time, we reappoint him in 3 years, and at the 6-year mark, the board sees him again.
So for their third term.
Going into the third.
Going into the
term.
third term.
Not
Yeah.
the second.
Yeah, going
Okay.
into the third term, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that way there we can, like I said, face the names again, but obviously with current events, obviously I think this is the safest, so. I'm
You
go-
can do it one at a time.
I'll just make a blanket motion. I'm gonna move that we appoint Andrew Fulton for reappointment of the Conservation Commission, Craig Francisco, reappointment to the Planning Board, Malcolm Wright, reappointment to the ZBA, Stephen Flanders, reappointment to the Cable Committee, and Rachel Sisto, reappointment to the Cable Committee, all for the terms of 3 years. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Question.
Too late.
No, while we're under the department heads and committees, what happened to our other person for the cable committee? Nothing
He's
ever.
a new appointment.
Yeah, he's a no.
He never showed up, so I
Well,
don't.
no, we canceled
Yeah.
nobody coming here.
No, but I mean, before, he was supposed to show up.
Yeah, I don't
And-
know, I
and-
haven't
okay,
reached out to
you
him
never-
yet in light of everything.
Okay,
and-
that's what I was curious, if you heard anything from him, so,
I
okay.
have not, but again, I mean, I think everybody's kinda in a frenzy of what's
Yep.
going on, so.
Like I said, he was supposed to schedule,
Yeah,
so
no,
it
that's-
just,
So that, you've got 2 new ones.
Right.
You do have a third one that she had filled out both planning and zoning. And she's supposed to be coming to a planning meeting and a zoning meeting. She's not sure she wants to do both, she'll decide which one and let me know. So that'll be a few months from now, because you're not meeting in April. So
yep.
You don't have any minutes. Is that what you're looking for?
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, we have the ninth.
March- You have the March 9th ones, but I don't think everybody has read them, have they?
No.
They-
I've
no, I
gone
just
through
got
them,
it.
but,
I don't remember what was Friday.
yep, I went through them, but
The 16th,
Maybe.
you don't have,
Yeah,
and the
18th
18th
they
is
don't have.
what Ricky sent me the other half of
Yep.
Friday, and I didn't get it done.
Are we ready to do the 9th?
I just
you-
got it. I haven't read them.
Okay, all right. We'll table them then. I'm gonna interject one in between the manifest. We have a new member. We need to redo our chair and vice chair.
oh, okay, I thought you were gonna do that under other business, but,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's not redo that. That's
Which one
because
you guys want?
Got a coin?
You got a coin flip it.
I don't care. It's completely up to you guys. If you guys are content with me staying chair, I'll take it, but if Jack wants it, he can have it. It doesn't matter to me.
Ricky, what do you think? Are you gonna run again next year? Or you?
wow.
I'm
Wow.
just.
That's like a year away and stuff.
No, I know, but you had made the comment you might not be, and my only thought was that maybe it would be good to let Jack be the chair this coming year, only so you could bring him up to speed in case you're not gonna be here.
Bless you.
I mean, I have made the comment that I'm not running.
Subject to change.
I've heard a lot of sweet whispers in my ear that I should run again. I've read some comments back and forth that the town, as a majority, seems to think I'm doing a fair job, which I think that's the only any politician can ask. Would be a fair job.
Fair job.
You're never gonna get a good
Love-
job out of anybody.
Love you
so.
today, hate you tomorrow.
Exactly. So I think I would be willing to put my name back on the ballot, but not put a lot of effort into a campaign. So, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, both times I ran, I stood in the middle of a blizzard out there. I mean, Sherry was with me in one of them,
Yeah, I
bundled
know.
in a snowmobile suit with my Nomex hood on, trying to keep warm.
Yeah.
So did
You know,
we.
I will not do that again.
So did we.
Right.
Yeah, it was 50 degrees out. What are you
60
talking
degrees
about?
out. You're not in a blizzard.
No, it was a blizzard the time before.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I won't do that again. There's no doubt in my mind I will not do that again. But like I said, I mean, obviously this year it ran unopposed, which I was very shocked with.
Yeah.
But I mean, I put my name back on there, yeah, I guess. Like I said, I've told many people I'm not running again. But, you know, that's a year out from now. I enjoy sitting on this board, I do, even through the good times and the bad times. You know, it's Monday nights, it's Wednesday nights with Naomi, it's, you know, but, I mean, like I said, I would probably be, you know, be putting my name on next year. Like I said, how much effort I put into the campaign trail would be to be desired, but, so, it's up to, like I said, it's up to you guys.
Well, would you have a problem like just switching? You do, let Jack do it in case
No,
you don't run?
I was vice chair under Tom,
Yeah, that's right, you were.
so,
I mean,
Tom
would,
was always here, I only had to run
I
the
mean,
meeting once when he had a heart
yeah,
attack.
I think you're doing a great job. I'm just wondering if you don't run next year and he doesn't have any experience.
No, I think Jack's got, I think Jack's got experience, if he wants, he can have it, I just, like I said, I have no problem staying chair.
It's up to the rest of the board.
Yeah.
Someone has to
What they
make
wanna
one.
do.
I'll make it. I make a motion for Jack for chair.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now we need
Kinda have
to
to
make a,
abstain.
we need
Yeah, I
to.
gotta say, yeah, and I do too, because I know it's
We need to make a
coming.
motion for vice chair.
Wait, what was the vote?
The vote was 3-2.
0-2. And I'll make the next motion. I make a motion for Ricky Hippler for vice chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There it is. Okay, and 2 abstentions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd have to abstain.
302.
302.
So,
And if it's a blizzard, we're not gonna be standing out there.
I ain't standing out there in a blizzard, ain't happening.
No. I don't blame you.
So, do you swap?
Is that
tonight
effective
or
Do I
now?
still-
Well,
swap
we'll
that?
make it effective
Next meeting?
next meeting. I
Okay.
mean, let him finish the meeting tonight. That's
Yeah,
probably the proper
right.
thing to do.
Okay,
So, I think to me, in my book. And then, when's our next
Well,
meeting? We're gonna
Should we
meet.
lead into the discussion of bi-weekly, or what are we gonna do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Do that
I'm
on
good with
other
that,
business
especially
first?
now.
You wanna do that on our other business and just get rid of the other two real quick?
Yeah, we'll get rid of manifest and do the
Well,
rest of
not
it.
much at the administrative report other
Yeah,
than,
we're not gonna do
Well,
much.
no, I mean,
We're not doing
I'm just
anything.
saying, you know, with not having any money.
Yep.
it's
We're not gonna do anything,
to-
right.
The other thing is with the whole mess of not having, you know, what are we gonna do for this COVID thing? That's
Mhm.
really what I'm wrestling with. the whole-
I think that's what we need to go
And I think
into.
that's kind of where I want to
Other
talk
business.
about- I don't care if my report or other.
You
Yeah,
wanna get rid of
whatever.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of other business to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of the
Yeah.
Well, you get rid
manifest.
of the manifest first,
Yeah.
and we can move on.
All right, I move to order the treasurer to sign payroll accounts payables checks dated March 26, 2020, as included in the following manifest. Payroll manifest, $54,376.74 for weekly and monthly payroll. Accounts payable, $18,908.10. Fire department accounts payable manifest, $4,213.49, pre-approved by the Board of Fire Wards. John Stark, $250, Ware School District, $300,000, for a total of $627,498.33. And I think we've come to the conclusion that we're not meeting next week.
We have a little bit of a dilemma, but go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, should I pause if there's a dilemma?
Well, the only thing I was asking is, Benji had his,
Bids.
Benji had his bids ready to go for the truck, the crushing, the paving, so that once he knew he got passed, he put it in the paper. So by doing that, he put it in the paper, and 2 weeks later is the 27th. Hopes of opening bids the 27th with award on the 30th.
Well, I think that we've come to the conclusion that we can have meetings as needed, and I think that that's an as needed, because,
Yeah.
myself, I think that's an as needed.
Okay.
Even if
we'll
that's
meet-
all we
That would be the
discuss.
only
That would be
That's
the only
we
thing.
discuss
As
it.
long
So-
as you're happy to do that,
And-
that's.
And do it at 7 rather than 6:30.
Okay, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
I mean, that gives him the opportunity of Friday.
on the 27th, yeah.
To see what he gets
Mhm.
open, and then decipher, go make his calls, do his thing.
Yep, and then bring it to
And
us.
then
Yep.
bring him forward, okay, alright, that's the only thing.
And then
Right,
that-
so I would still say the manifest should be pushed off 2 weeks, though.
To the
Yeah,
6th,
that's
Right.
6th of April.
Yeah. All right, further order, the treasurer signed payroll checks dated April 2nd, 2020, estimated to be about $65,000. Furthermore, to order the treasurer sign up to the amount of $60,000 for accounts payables that cannot wait until the next scheduled meeting. Reports and actual check amounts will be reported to the Board of Selectmen by inclusion in the manifest memo at the next scheduled meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Abstentions? Noes? Oh,
Oh.
I didn't hear you say aye.
Oh, yeah, I heard him.
Alright?
You have one you can borrow?
Got a horn I
We're
can
all
put
getting
on?
sappy with this stuff.
So, all right.
So, like I said, the administrative report, the only thing I'd ask you guys to do under the administrative report is, now that you've selected your chair and vice chair, typically, and you've made your reappointments, you guys always
Your ex officios.
take a,
Our
Take a
committees,
group.
yeah.
so, I can only come up with 4 at the moment. I think the last one is non-existent. We have a park and rec, we have planning board, the stone fund, CIP subcommittee, and I think the last one is, couldn't find it tonight, was the agriculture or the heritage commission.
They're not
Neither
meeting
one are
anymore.
meeting,
Mhm.
because neither one have a
Exist.
committee.
Right,
So typically, there was 5 committees and you all took 1.
right. I'll take the stone fund again. I'm just barely getting acquainted with that system now, after
Yeah.
like 2 years.
I'll stay with the planning board to keep it some
So
type of
CIP
fluidity.
meets during the day, so
I
that's not
can't,
gonna
I
work
can't
here.
do day
Okay.
stuff,
I'll take CIP.
Okay.
and that leaves Parks and Rec. Okay,
They meet on Tuesday nights, is that okay?
yeah, that's fine.
And,
Is it
So
every,
Sherry will take the non-functional.
Heritage and
where's our 6 second?
Agricultural.
I'm not taking the agricultural because they're not having it, Naomi.
or either that,
I didn't mean.
she could be your
that's not
backup for
all in there.
Parks and
Yeah,
Rec.
you,
It's just not,
you,
it's not.
you
it's
can
not-
put me on the Heritage Commission and that, but there's nobody's gonna be meeting. Just wanna let you know. But I will remain on the Conservation Commission if you'd like me to.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
That's good. Okay, so that's the report in a nutshell? Okay,
Moving on.
Sorry about that, though.
all right, other business correspondence. I don't have any correspondence per se. I know we have a ton of other business to talk about.
Yeah, no,
Mostly, I think, head of the line should be the town offices and what our plan is with that. I kind of was thinking throughout the day, was kind of like what you guys are doing. You know, you had Maureen in here. You guys were upstairs doing your thing. To me, there's a door between you guys, so just don't open it type thing between you and Beth. That was 3. And then, you know, they all leave. Then maybe we could bring Jane in and maybe Kelly where there's a wall
So,
and, you know.
yeah, so what the word, and I hate to use it because I think it's really can be, is essential, non-essential.
Mhm.
I mean, what I've seen a lot of the offices are doing are 1 person per office type of thing.
Mhm.
Then one has broken down essential, non-essential. And what'll happen is you still have to come in at some point to look at your email, your phone messages, really. Because I think right now, the attack on any system is gonna be high, because people's thoughts are elsewhere. So
Mhm.
if you allow, we don't really have the ability to work from home without, you know, I mean, subjecting a home computer to siege if something happened. So, you know, if you're gonna, and this, let's talk about a grand scheme, I guess you're gonna do it department by department, because my thought was if you do essential, non-essential, Chris has already kinda handled his, sticking it and run.
Mhm.
Benji, you know, he was gonna be here tonight, and he texted me, but he had to go plow. So, and Chief Azina's taken his and run, he's basically the focal point, and then he mans his ship how he has to. Benji, we talked about, let me see what we put together. Talked about that the transfer station will remain open during normal business hours. Transfer station is not accepting cardboard and plastics to be separated at this time. All plastics and cardboard will be thrown into the municipal trash hauler by the resident. The swap shop's closed. And then for highway, we had put all employees with symptoms related to the coronavirus are mandated to stay home. Administration staff will continue to have office hours. All other employees will be asked to stay home except for the following events. During a snowstorm, all employees who are symptom-free are required to maintain the roads per the direction of the Public Works Director. During an emergency, i.e. road washout, culvert blockage, tree down, or other event that would impede the public, the Director will call in a small crew of 3 employees who are symptom-free. There will be a 3-man crew on call at all times. The crews will change from day to day, or if employees become ill at the discretion of the Public Works Director. Thank you for your understanding, as we're trying to keep employees safe while continuing to provide service. So what that happens is, you know, the lunchroom is very, very tiny. So to keep the traffic down and to keep, well, you talked about contamination tonight.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's some I do know that have other family members that may not have, you know, the coronavirus, but they could be flu symptoms, some have asthma. So I just
Wow.
think that everybody's really nervous about things.
So, so what would the crew look like at the DPW on a normal day? Would it be just Joe, Benji, and that's it?
Joe, Benji, and maybe
One other guy.
Jason for a while?
I
don't know.
was
Think
gonna
mechanic.
say that because I was thinking that, you know, if Jason works out there by himself kind of thing, he's kind of secluded off. And that would give him an opportunity to stay really hyper-focused on the broken stuff.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, obviously barriers, gloves driving the truck, stuff like that, because now he's getting in one of the others, you know,
Getting in the
trucks.
vehicle.
Right, and this stuff can sit for, what is it saying, 6
3
days now?
Right.
Yeah,
3 to
whatever.
6
And
days,
so
whatever.
this, like
3 to 6
tonight,
days.
so the guys are in there tonight, they know they're in there tonight, they're being
Yep.
6 foot because they're in their confined area.
Right,
After that, you don't want somebody else hopping in, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Totally.
right,
So at that point, we thought about, him and I talked and kind of looking at maybe 2 weeks and see where we are. I don't know if it's gonna go up, down, or not.
right,
I don't know if it's gonna get crazy, if it's gonna stop. I
Right.
can't envision.
Yep.
You know, none of us can, because every lunchtime, there's a call,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
you're
sure.
getting to get on and watch what's going on.
Yep.
And just a lot of things going on, and I sent you guys an email of what they're doing for building permits now.
Mhm.
I sent you
It's
that tonight.
pretty much suspended, the fire marshal
They're
is
pretty much
suspending
suspending
it.
things just
I don't-
because of you don't know. I mean, common sense would tell you that tonight you wanna go home and throw your stuff in the washer
Right.
and take a shower.
So
You know what I
say
mean? Cause you don't know.
I will
So
be.
you're saying I can build something right now with no permit?
You have to apply for it, but you can do it online, but you don't have,
Oh.
the inspections are lessened, you have, you
Yeah, I
can't
know.
close
I-
it.
I just
So I
phoned Joe.
just think
But
it's,
yeah,
it's a
they had
serious
a big one,
thing,
it was
but
a
at
big
the same time, I
three-page,
think.
six-page email.
I saw it,
I
I didn't
think
read
there's
it,
a
but I saw
lot
it.
Yeah.
of hype about, you know, coming home, maybe carrying it, and anybody that has older parents or
Mhm.
younger children, you don't know. I mean, I got a
Yeah, before,
daughter-in-law that's expecting.
before it was
So I'm very
everybody over
cautious
60,
with it.
65 was highly susceptible, now they've reduced it between 20 to 50, and
Yeah.
then you got a 10-year gap, I guess, you're
Well, I'm
safe.
just saying,
I
think
don't
it's
know,
an
but that's,
unknown that people are scared of, and like
Yeah.
I said, we do things together, but it's a distant and washing and all the time, because, I don't know, my daughter-in-law's 4.5 months pregnant,
So going back to the building department and inspections, are there any buildings out there that, are there any houses being built that this is going to affect where we're not able to do inspections
So
anymore?
we did some inspections today, but again, they were inspections that,
Were scheduled.
you could do foundations and you could do
Septic foundation.
foundations and the walls to,
everything
because
that's
the
open.
next one would be kind of electrical plumbing, but nobody's there, kind of.
Yep.
But the ones, I mean, people are really, because I get a couple of emails even about assessing. People doesn't want people there.
They don't want 'em in the
they
house.
don't
I wouldn't
'em,
want 'em
you know.
either.
And likewise.
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
everybody's nervous.
And I think the back end of this, which is taking it out of the mix at this point, come Wednesday,
Yeah, our building
we
inspector's
no longer
not
have a
on
building
Wednesday.
inspector, so I mean, we
we're
have to go to
gonna lean
mutual
towards
aid,
Mutual aid anyway.
Yep.
so.
I do know there's a couple things in the works. I think Kelly responded to all of you. I mean, it's, like I said, that's kind of fluid every day.
We get, I know.
So
from the
that looks
building
different all the
department, there's not a whole
time.
lot that
He
we
did a
gotta
lot
worry
of
about.
inspections today that would allow someone to continue on
Okay.
for a while until, I don't know what Goffstown's situation, everybody else that I have mutual aid with, as to what they're doing. You know what I mean? I'm asking
Yep.
another community now.
We have to now cross the,
So I think things are, and then for here, I call it essential, non-essential, because like Maureen came in first thing this morning, and she did all of her stuff, and then she left.
That's fine.
So her and Jane,
Could be
we're
switching.
gonna swap, so Jane could do tomorrow, you know what I mean? Cause right now.
That's what I was saying,
Yeah,
is you could,
Cause you can't get 6 feet in there, plus, you know,
that's what I was saying, like almost like rotate days type thing.
well, that's kind of what we were looking at, other than one is my responsibility because it's not trained, so I'm trying to be,
So,
so do we need essential, non, I mean, I'm just
I
trying
mean,
to
Well,
the
my-
town,
figure it
the-
out.
the
I got a
town-
question. If we're, say we're splitting half days or rotating days, how are we handling paying them? Are we
Are we
paying,
doing what?
are we paying them for their full shift?
We've already talked about that. I
Yes,
think
we
we've
talked about that
already
last
talked
time, yeah.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
get, I mean, under the emergency orders, they're saying, you know, we're gonna pay them.
And we're just keeping track of.
We're keeping
That's
track of it
That's
under
why you
that,
see
so
on
we
the
can get some
On the
reimbursement,
stubs, it'll say.
you know.
So how many hours they're in? Maybe they're in 20 hours a week.
Right.
Yeah,
Each
so the other
person.
20, so they.
But the other 20 will
It's
be
gonna
under
work, they got,
Paid.
COVID or something?
we've got the money and they're tracking it with the COVID.
Okay.
The other thing, as far as like Maureen, you know, she could set her own schedule and come and go as she
Yeah.
wants, so, as the town
Yeah,
clerk,
we
that's.
talked today, and she was just gonna
and
rotate the
she's-
day.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think having Wendy come in and wish Dell was at home, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't think, unless we have something necessary, I don't think it's need to have the building department come in or the planning.
Well, I know there's,
Maybe it's
emails
as
and phone
needed.
Yeah,
messages.
as needed, they can check
As-
their messages.
Right.
I mean, if they know how to get into the code, do they have a code that they can check them remotely from out on the road without coming
Well,
in?
no, because if you check it remotely, it comes through on something like this.
Yeah. But
No,
You know, and that's their own personal device, so.
Yeah.
I'd rather not.
They
So
can come in.
they
They can come in and
they
spend
could
4 hours.
alternate-
yeah,
They
Yeah.
could alternate who comes in which day.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But upstairs,
oh, you're essential. Because
well,
the
I
place
was
would,
gonna be here anyway.
no, but I'm saying you and Beth are essential, because the place would grind to a stop if you weren't. So,
Well,
with
actually,
the,
and
with the money and,
Can do her thing, but she is too, because we did a lot of business today.
yeah.
Yeah,
We did a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
business
Oh, I'm
today
sure.
online.
I'm sure.
And if you can get someone to email or call if they need to see us, we're welcome to do that too.
yeah.
But, you know, like, until we reach a
Consolation
point,
prize.
you know, I don't know what to do.
Well,
No,
I
you're
could
right.
Just,
take
Like I
it
say,
week by
it's
week.
changing, it's changing by the day.
Yeah.
actually, it's changing by the hour.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep everybody healthy.
Yeah.
And it's not just here, it's who.
Outside,
you know,
too.
Outside of here.
Hey,
You know,
families.
You know, I call my mom to see if she needs anything, but you know what I mean? They're 79, 80 years old, they
Yeah.
don't need to go anywhere.
Mhm.
But, you know, me going into her house, I could be carrying something from here and never knowing.
Hmm.
So that's why everybody's
Yeah.
being really cautious.
Oh, I know my mother-in-law's basically, she's under house arrest, and one of, my sister-in-law goes goes to the grocery store and brings the stuff, drops it on the stairs and leaves.
Yeah.
But turns out it's driving her crazy, because all she does is go out for a walk up and down the sidewalk and then goes in, and she wants to go to the store and just get out and go for a ride.
Which is not the thing.
Not the thing to do.
No,
But
especially at risk. yeah.
It's,
So I think if we leave it, I'm thinking you heard, see what Benji was doing at
Yep.
3
Yep.
at a time, and there could be 3 here and 2 at a time. Whether you call it essential or not essential or whatever.
I
'Cause
think
there's just
it's-
some tasks that, you know, some of the tasks, if there's nobody here, there's not, I don't say nothing to do, but, you know what I mean, if you're not inviting the public in. And I'll be honest with you, and this sounds terrible, and I will talk to Beth about it. I ran into somebody, we really should think about a TAN.
A what?
Which is a tax anticipation note. And the
Oh,
reason I say
yeah.
that is you think about people aren't sure where their paycheck's coming from, we're probably the last stop.
Right.
Without that, we
We don't
can't
get our
pay the
tax revenue.
schools.
We won't have tax
So I
revenue
think
in.
we should maybe jump on, ahead of that, ahead of the curve a little bit,
Okay.
just because you never know.
I'm okay with that.
oh,
You know,
yeah,
even if we could just
I
pull the
think
trigger
we
if we need it, because there are people.
we should get it, yeah.
The things are down to a minimum because they don't know. The
Well,
unknown is.
a lot of people have already been
scary.
laid off.
Right, the unknown is.
Right.
scary.
The only good part of the people being laid off is that they've already done away with the red tape, and anybody, I mean, anybody can, even if it's part-time, can go get unemployment.
Self-employed, you can get.
And self-employed, and they
Right,
go
but still,
get,
there's still hysteria.
And there
of
is.
where, and you know what? If
But
you're-
the unemployment office is over flooded too.
Well, they got
took
30
27 something thousand
Al-
phone
Almost
calls outside,
30,000, yeah, I heard it.
40
Unemployment
over
only
40,000
pays up
last
to a
week.
certain
So I
amount,
think we have
so.
to be like a couple things ahead of things just in case, because what if we're the last stop to be paid?
Yeah, that's right, and I think that's,
Usually take my house.
might as well get the, like you
You
said,
know.
get it ready in case we do need
Well,
it.
I think it's worth looking at.
For-
right
I think it's
now.
definitely worth looking at.
Yeah, no question.
So there's some things that, there's just some things that people wouldn't come in, but I would
Right.
tell you that, you know, with the new collector, I did send her home Friday with 3 big binders
Mm-hmm.
to learn and read, You know what I mean? It's just, and reread, because it's not easy to do.
No.
Send home the tax manual from the state that would have been training.
Right.
I don't know when they're gonna do training to be certified.
Who knows?
You know, I did the Avatar and I did our own stuff. So that stuff can still be read and reread over and over.
Speaking of which,
Yeah, you have to.
we have to make
You'd have to appoint somebody as your tax collector by
interim
April
tax,
1st.
yeah. So another,
Or else you won't be able to do your tax bills.
So,
So I had suggested, this is what I, just because I'm the deputy, I know that, but at the same time, I can't get somebody certified, plus they're on probation for 6 months. So if you appointed me as your tax collector on an interim basis,
I'm okay with that.
then we
Yep.
could make the swap once the probation.
Yeah, 'cause you're already-
But it would allow us come May to do bills unless we don't have certification done by May.
right,
It would still allow that.
So move, is there a second?
second,
All in favor?
aye.
Can we go back,
I heard him say aye that time.
I heard
can we
it.
go back to DPW for a minute?
Sure.
Talking more about the recycling side.
Yeah.
We're not taking plastics, we're not taking cardboard.
Nope, it's to go
Okay.
into the,
So that means our tipping fees are gonna increase. Is anybody, Matt or Benji, gonna be recording these increased fees so we can be reimbursed?
Well, we'll get hauling slips back. I'm
we'll
sure.
get the
Okay,
hauling
but they
slips
need to be
back.
actually broken out because our tipping fees are gonna go up quite a bit because of that.
Of weight, the weight
The
and
weight,
the, and
there'd be
the
more
frequency
volume-
will be more.
More volume
Right,
going
you're
up.
right, and I'm just thinking, I know Beth puts in the slips every time we get them, and I
Yep.
think you could probably see a trend.
Oh, yeah.
But if we're asking all the other department heads to mark out this increase is, or this is for
Sure.
the
Yeah.
I bet
COVID-19.
I'll bet it'll be 5 to 10 tons a week extra.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
easily.
Oh, probably a trailer a month.
Yeah. Oh,
so,
minimum, yeah.
of it,
If
if you
not
look,
more.
We can't keep that, though. I mean, you can't ask people to keep this for,
some places are.
you can
Yeah.
for a week or two.
Some towns are asking them to do that.
Yeah, but the problem is what happens, say they do it for 3 months, people keep all this stuff.
Oh, the
And-
March.
Oh, then it's gonna come as a flood.
They never
though,
could,
that's
they'd never be able to get through
I
it,
mean, but
probably.
some places are actually asking
Right.
them that. In fact,
Yeah.
there was something that came out from NRRA today, too. Did
I get something.
I forward that to you? I don't know if I
I
forwarded it.
didn't see that one.
I'd just like to see that, those documented, because I know our trucking fees are gonna go up
Yep.
a lot.
Absolutely.
What a great time to own our own. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, wouldn't it be?
So do you, are you okay with that plan? Do you need to?
I think it's good. My only concern is I think, didn't Ben tell us he's sent for like 4 guys out sick? Are those guys all back in yet? I'm concerned that, you know, it's probably the flu over there, but
the
is that,
regular old flu, yeah.
Yeah, you don't know.
It's hard to tell. I mean, some of
Yeah, I
them have
know.
kids, and, you know, with kids, they
I'm
bring
wondering if
everything
you should
home from
just
school
say-
and everything
Oh,
else,
absolutely,
so-
yeah.
air it out for a week or two?
Well, and that's, yeah, I
You
mean,
could revisit it, like you're gonna revisit the town hall, you said by the 1st of April. So at your meeting on the 6th, you could revisit again and see where we are. Have we gone downhill? Has it increased? Has it gotten worse? I don't know. Hopefully, knock on wood, nobody gets infected.
yeah.
You know, that's kind of where we're at
Yeah.
this point.
And I don't know this, is there someone else that can do mechanic work over there too? Because do we want to leave the one guy just doing mechanic work all the time over there by himself and the rest of the guys are all
Well,
off?
that's what I'm saying. If Joe's there and Jason, Joe and Jason, then you have your second there to monitor.
He's there part-time though,
Who?
Joe.
Right.
But right now, under the emergency order, his 32 hours a week has been waived. He can work all the hours that we need if he wants to. If he wants
Yeah,
to,
he
but I'm just saying, that's,
But you can
That's an
overlap with
option.
Benji coming in half a day or something.
Yeah,
you
from
know?
a safety standpoint, you need 2 people down there.
Oh, absolutely. I agree 100%.
Just in case.
Yeah.
I agree
And
100%.
those two can see into that,
Right.
the office,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, and but I would, I mean, if anything is essential down there, I would say keep Jason on full. You know, just be, and, you know, or if he wants to, if he gets sick, bring Mo in, because Mo's his
Yeah.
Backup
assistant, I
kinda,
think,
yeah.
yeah. And I'm sure Mo can do some things, and, you know, I know Jason can too, so I would rather
I don't wanna
see.
burn Jason out till we get him sick either.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's
No,
my
That's right.
concern.
No, I'm not saying, you know, work all
Yeah.
kinds of hours, but, you know, if there's gonna be a storm, take a couple days off beforehand or whatever, but, you know, I think now would be a good time, in light of all this
Yeah.
unfortunateness, I think now is a good time to start repairing on the fleet,
Yeah,
you know?
well, hopefully they don't break down tonight.
tonight, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
but, I mean, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
I think he's kind of an essential
Well,
for
again,
that
I think you
department.
have some department heads that have kind of taken the reins of their own department.
Yep.
and doing what they need to do, but also at the protection of the employee.
Absolutely.
Right.
Which I think is good, same as here.
And that's top- and that's
which
the top
is kinda what
priority.
we're after to do.
Right.
We're after to keep us safe and the public safe, but people can still call for appointments, they can still email us if you need to come here for something.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, that happened today, you know, UPS was there and Beth happened to run downstairs and someone wanted somebody through the door. And Beth's like, there's where you gotta stop, and then Maureen happened to still be here, so Beth asked if she could come in. She didn't have a computer, she didn't do it, so Beth she did wait on her, but it's far and few between that you would have that.
Right.
Because most everything, as you know, has been extended until
Whatever.
April 30th.
Yeah.
Just to give you the highlights of the thing from NRRA is a facility impact report that they did for 30 specific examples of how member municipalities are changing their facility operations, just for recycling. One of them is the safety precautions and public education, temporarily not accepting certain recyclables, and 3, to temporarily stop recycling. They have a survey for the committees, and they have that available, and Benji has access to that, so they can do that, and they put a report, and it also covers any type of OSHA for solid waste workers handling and so forth under this virus, so.
Now, the employees that Benji sent home sick, are we keeping them out for 2 weeks, or are we letting them?
I think it was more.
Doctor's note return, wasn't it?
It was what?
Doctor's note return.
Well, the doctor's office is not seeing anybody right
Nobody's
now.
seeing
I don't see
anybody.
anybody.
Yeah, and if we require
came
people to
in
go to
with
the
no
doctors, that's just
symptoms.
perpetuating the issue.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought one of them came back and he had been feeling
He's
all
been
right for like
symptom-free.
5
I
days.
think it was 72 hours supposed to be
Yeah.
symptom-free. And so this one came back, but then there was discussion about, you know, how do I know he's still not sick? You know what I mean?
Or contagious type
Well,
thing.
yeah, I think 5 days, isn't it, aren't they saying 5 days? with
5
this?
days with no symptoms and
Symptoms.
72 hours after the last
After
symptom.
your last symptom, yeah.
Mhm.
So he's been out, he has young kids, you know what I mean? So I think there's a scare there, as well as, you know what I mean, just bringing it home.
Hmm.
You know, people have the cold,
Right.
and John and I talked about this Friday, you know, allergy season's here too,
Yep.
so.
Exactly.
A lot of it is.
I think that's what I'm getting. My allergies are starting to come in.
Right, it
And now-
could be the other though.
Now, this will
you know?
stop it again.
For a minute.
For a
Yeah.
minute.
So I just think
Till
that,
tomorrow.
you know, we're still gonna provide the service that we can. I returned
Yep.
all my calls today, did my emails, you know, online, just whatever we can do. Maureen had pages of it, and it seems to be working well. I had a couple of phone calls with regards to doing the dog licenses by mail, so they're doing that as well.
Yep.
So I think people are really nervous about it, so I think they're really using the online.
Good, as they
I
should.
think it's great.
Yeah,
I think
and
it's
if you
great,
can,
too.
like I said, if you can't, you can always email somebody, even if you go through the
Yep.
website and email, it comes to mine.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get it to the right place and we can get you an answer, so.
When does Parks and Rec start up with their
And that's
activities?
one of the other things, Park and Rec, asked me if you looked at the, would you look at the job description? I think I forwarded to all of you.
Yeah, it's a little lengthy. I didn't get to read it
Yeah,
yet.
I heard part of it.
It was,
think it
honestly,
needs
if
to
you go
be
from the
tweaked.
bottom, it really wasn't that lengthy, cause there's several emails here. If you
Oh.
read from the bottom, is she sent it in 2 paragraphs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much to it.
And then the other one up a little further, they revisited, I think, at their last meeting.
So the only part I questioned was on the last paragraph of it. Says the phones, or the phones turned into management. Does that put us liable in case the phone gets lost, damaged, or anything like that? Wouldn't it be better off just having the employees just keep it in their vehicle and there's nobody responsible for it?
I
Well,
kinda like that idea.
it is if they've got a vehicle, but maybe some of them are
Some
being
of them are
dropped off by
kids.
parents.
Then they can put it in an office somewhere. But to have somebody actually take ownership of it, hand it to a manager,
Well-
I'm not a big fan of that idea.
Yeah, I think,
'Cause I know what the
that's
The only other
courthouse-
thing to do is put it in a box inside the guard shack. That's it. Put a
Yeah.
box in there for
Because at the
phones.
courthouse,
When you go to court.
When they make you shut it off, and I had to put it in the bag with my number on it. when I
Yeah,
returned
or a
it.
box. They put it in a cardboard box or a
And then
bag,
keep it
and
with
they
the
keep
guys
it.
at the gate.
Yep,
Yeah.
at the door.
That's the only thing I saw that I kind of questioned. Everything else looked okay. But my question, which preceded this, is when do they start up? And if
May
it's
not.
if it's anytime soon, are we going to recommend that they maybe postpone whatever their startup is?
Well, it's
Well, so
Memorial
typically
Day?
what they'll do is they wanted to put that out so that they could get applications.
Yep.
And then the schedule typically is Memorial Day weekend.
Okay.
is they're open weekends until school gets out, but I'm not sure what the deal is
What's
now.
school, yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're right, 2020 Olympics just got canceled.
Well, no, they haven't decided.
No.
Canada's out.
Canada's
Canada pulled
out.
out.
They're gonna have it within 4 weeks. That was the latest news.
No, they did.
No, I thought they
They
canceled.
said
They gave you a blurb, but it was Canada.
Was it Special Olympics, I think, in New
Special
Hampshire?
Olympics is all done.
Yeah, they canceled.
But the National Olympics in Japan, no, they haven't decided. The Olympic Committee is,
4 or 5 countries are sending in.
yeah, the Olympic
I almost
Committee,
think they did today.
the Olympic Committee is
They
at
might
5
have.
o'clock.
I know I've
so-
overheard.
So, and I
Canada.
can tell you that, the Primex conference is May 19th and 20th, they canceled
Yeah.
the year.
Makes sense.
So I think it's because of the unknown. So, do you want them to, I guess they could run an ad and continue on
I would
in
say,
the event it's open?
I would put it out,
But then how do you interview them?
no, but I'm saying,
One at a time?
one at a time. And
From the back
6 feet,
room.
that's right. And what you do is, but put in that ad when you put it out, that this is an ever-changing issue because of the fact of
Yeah,
COVID-19, that this may not even come to pass.
but you know what? Even that, the kids, want the jobs, but there won't be much for summer jobs this year, believe me.
No.
There's not gonna be anything.
No.
I don't know. I'll tell you right now, they're hiring anybody and everybody at Target and Walmart.
That's all
increasing
under
their
the
pay
idea
by
that
$2
the
an
school's
hour.
actually gonna be closed during the summer. If they're closed for 2 or 3 months now, who's to say the schools aren't gonna say, okay, well, summer school is now
Right.
In.
yeah.
No.
And we don't know what's gonna happen,
No, we don't.
so.
There's a lot of unknowns.
That's a lot coming from a lot of higher
So
powers
just
than us.
continue on, and then I guess we'll revisit it as we know.
I would think so, and I would just say that, I don't even know if I put a disclaimer at the bottom, I just post it.
Let 'em get
As
that.
a regular job interview type thing.
Okay.
I just post it, because you get word at the bottom, and by the time that it gets circulated with everybody, it's already changed,
Where are
so.
they gonna be interviewing these people?
I'd say right here.
One at a time.
They can do what we're doing here, and then put the candidate at the back door.
Yeah.
Kinda like we did.
Or right where Johnny is.
Yeah, I
And
think-
then at that point, when they come forward and come before us,
Will be postponed because of the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
I saw it somewhere.
Okay.
What did you see?
The 2020 Tokyo Olympics will be postponed due to
Yeah.
coronavirus.
Yeah.
So the whole thing's been postponed,
Right.
and that's in
Well,
July. So, I mean, I guess we'll let
well,
them
what they do is they
continue
can't
on
get
in case it's over.
they can't get the athletes to go practice anywhere. That's like baseball. I mean, they're not playing.
Nothing, there's nothing.
Well, none
about
of
it.
them are
None of
gonna-
them.
When is Parks and Recs thinking they wanna put that ad out, like right away, or?
Yeah,
Sooner rather than later.
That's
I've
fine.
already got, one came in today, Span, I put it in their box, they haven't even run the ad yet. So people know that it comes up, so they just bring in applications, so,
Sounds good.
Yep.
and we'll just have to play that by ear.
I think we've covered pretty much everything we need to cover tonight.
Yeah, 'cause I'm not sure that we need to have what my wife sent me
So,
done non-public, 'cause there's a resident in town that's sent a big letter to the state about this
About what?
coronavirus.
Okay,
Sitting in the hospital on, not doing good at all,
okay.
but I don't know if it's really,
Yeah,
From
it's,
town?
okay.
Okay.
All right.
we had briefly touched on the subject last meeting. Unfortunately, it wasn't televised for people, and the minutes aren't out yet, but we talked about, remote meeting, teleconferencing, et cetera. Like to maybe just bring that back up again, maybe have a little bit further discussion on that.
I think this works. This what we have right here, the chair between us and them out there, and I think there's room between us.
Okay.
Again, I'm just one member, but I would say as of our next scheduled meeting,
Correct.
Listen,
I would say play it as is, subject to change.
Yep.
yeah.
We'll know by probably our next real formal meeting will be the 6th.
That's what I'm saying, our next formal meeting.
Yeah, just will
should
be
know
Friday
more.
for the bids, but after that, by the next one, we'll have
Monday,
more.
right,
we'll-
next Monday.
Yeah.
Next Monday for the bids.
The 27th is Friday.
Right, but the 30th.
Oh, the 30th, we're gonna do the
You're gonna
bids.
Yeah, we're gonna do it
Okay.
next, yeah, we're gonna do it next
Just award
Monday,
the
just
bids.
award the bids,
Okay.
that'll be the only order of business.
And then other than that,
Yeah, and then the third, we'll play it by ear,
the 6th.
you know, or the sixth, whatever it is, but we'll play it by ear.
Meeting is
you
the
know.
30th then, not the 27th.
Oh, because I thought it was the 27th the way you talked. Okay, the
No.
30th. Yeah, whatever. So,
I just want to make sure I have the right date down.
Yeah,
If we can,
to be, yeah,
I know there's services out there that we could have a dial-in meeting.
Zoom,
I'm not familiar with
most
it,
of them are using Zoom.
Okay.
right now.
but it could be moderated, so board members could speak, but a moderator would actually have to turn on somebody else to speak. Kind of like a queue, if you will. I'm kind of curious what the cost for something like that would be.
I know most
If
of
we
the
have,
places
if
are
we
using
have to
Zoom.
go that route, at least we'll have the information ahead of time.
there's a lot of
Well, I know. like I
exceptions to
said,
some of it. You know,
Goffstown
right now, the
has
governor
some-
just sent out again, so.
Yeah, I got that right here.
Is that the one that came out this afternoon?
This is the one that was sent out Friday
No, there's another
regarding
one that's come
Yeah,
out
he just came out
with another one that came out
Right.
this afternoon, so, I mean, it's changing.
supersedes this.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's,
every time there's something new that comes out.
yeah.
And who's sending that out?
Yeah, NHMA,
Or,
and via the governor's
That
office.
one came right, these are coming right direct from the governor's office, so,
Yep.
emergency
Oh, they
management.
are just copy and pasted, yeah.
Yeah,
I think Zoom is what Goffstown, I can reach out to
Yeah.
Derek. That's what they've gone to, and I don't think there was a cost in light of everything.
Okay.
Because a lot of people are going to Zoom. Don't know how it works, but I'd be happy to find out.
Yeah, if that would allow it for the public to listen in, that would satisfy being a public meeting at that
well,
point.
I mean, there's exceptions under that too with the governor sent out today under
Yeah,
91.
I'd have to read, I don't
And
know.
if you read that, you know, we're meeting even what he said and then some. I mean, with this, we're televising it. We've got the door open if they want to
Yep.
come in and listen. So I mean,
From
we
the
have-
back row.
for the back row.
Well,
But
like
so
I
we
said,
are.
people are panicked right now. You know what I mean? It is
So.
something to, as maybe the case lightens and
Mm-hmm.
people get out a little bit more, it might be another avenue for us to use.
Yep,
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
This works for us, but people at home can't see the other two, probably can't even hear John,
Right.
you know,
but
so.
they know he's here.
If we slid the podium out of the way, he could probably be seen. We'll put a chair there.
Slide the mic.
It's just, you know, it's tough to see, trying to figure out.
Oh, absolutely.
Cable's still
Yeah.
trying to do its thing to put it on YouTube.
We'll figure it
so.
out.
Right, we'll figure it out. Like I said, it's all fluid, it's moving, changing. So,
Any update from Kelly on the email I sent her last week
I didn't ask for a follow-up,
Okay.
but I'd be happy to do that.
I'm just kind of
I
curious.
know she hasn't, well, with this whole mess. she's
Yep.
been trying to- Yeah.
yeah.
It's not a high priority, but I just like follow up on that. Where on Concord Stage?
No idea.
Was it an accident?
Yeah.
Anything else?
And if you reply back, John and I talked today, we don't have quite John's forward working yet. So we thought it was working, but now I still have to forward him stuff until I can get Doug to do it.
Okay.
So,
Calm down. We'll change it as of next week.
oh, thank you, the letterhead.
Both of them.
Yeah,
Him and I got a flop, and we need to add him.
Okay.
that's right.
Letterhead.
I never even thought about that. Let
I
it
did
have-
on
who
the, I
cares?
did on the website, I did those changes.
For the new select person.
Yes.
Yes, I did see
And
that.
I put an email on there that nobody can get to him.
The unknown.
I thought that was what you wanted, that email.
Hidden.
It goes out in the
Well,
side.
no,
Oh, it's hidden,
I've got
good.
it- No, I've got it flipping, but it's not flipping to
It's-
evidently.
it's-
he
Yeah,
misunderstood.
anything that goes to the
Unless he
members.
forgot the underscore, because sometimes an
possible.
underscore,
Yeah.
when it underlines it, and I can ask him that.
Well, if I send from mine to board members, mine gets kicked and his gets kicked.
Yeah,
So I have to forward it to him
Yep.
specifically, and I'm the
Yeah, but
originator, so I
anything
don't care.
anything that was sent out last week, the last email I got was from Sherry when she replied to
Beth.
Beth's email.
I just said, you know.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't see the problem here.
Yeah, I know.
sometimes they all, I've gotten them that they flip. Somebody says, oh yeah, your mail come back to me. I go, what?
My only question, because I didn't get manifest, like,
Yeah, he's like, doesn't she send those out? I'm like, yeah, she did.
Yeah, Beth does, yeah.
Yeah.
Sends them out religiously.
Yeah, and
Alright.
I'll just have her add you for now, so when it does
Speaking
become
of which,
effective,
are they
just
all
tell me so
signed?
we can.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
All right. We good? We good?
Good,
Let's go home.
sounds good. Make
Make
a
a motion,
motion,
we-
we adjourn.
second.
All in favor?
Aye. Good night.